Hi. I've actually missed this the podcast. I didn't think I would, but I'm happy to be back. I'm unfortunately sick over the sort of the break. You can maybe hear it a little bit of my voice still, but I'm just glad to be back. Marn, how was your how are your holidays?
Pretty similar to you. Like literally around the Christmas period, got sick. New Year's has been like really slow to like get back in the swing of things. Dying for competitive league to come back. Like that's literally what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I can't wait for next week, man. Next week, Monday, we got interviews back up. Um, 18th, we have the draw show for the LTA. And then 25th, we have to wait until the 25th for games. But LPL starts on the 12th, so I got my itch there.
This Sunday.
Yeah, well, is the 12th Sunday or is it Monday?
Yeah,
It is
Sunday.
Sunday. It is
Looking at the
Sunday. Yeah,
calendar
yeah.
now.
So Sunday. I think it's like Sunday in the middle of the night or something like that. But um, yeah, it should be fun. New season just dropped. The dev update just dropped. A lot of cool stuff, a lot of weird stuff, a lot of maybe not so cool stuff. The major thing that I'm happy about is that they gave us exactly where MSI is going to be. Not MSI, but the international events are going to be going into the future. So they
Yeah.
explicitly said like, okay, for 2025, MSI is going to be in Vancouver, which I am extremely sad about. It just means that there's a 99% chance that I'm not going, which I'm very sad about. If you don't know why, like geography wise, Vancouver is very close to California, which is like on the other side of the planet for me, or the other side of the continent. Um, the east side is a lot closer. You know, things like Montreal, things like um, Toronto would have been cool, but it is what it is. Then
I'm
they
bummed because
announced what's up.
I really want to go to Toronto. Like if it was in Toronto, I would have considered. But that's been like a dream destination for me for like a while.
Yeah. Also, from I have a lot of Canadians in chat normally, and they do not like Vancouver. They think that 6 years ago is a good city, and nowadays it's not. They're very pessimistic about Vancouver, so that doesn't bode well with me. But again, the event is going to be really cool. It just sucks that me and my friends can't make it out because it's on the other side of the continent. They announced
Yeah.
that Worlds. They announced the cities for Worlds, so we're going to be in Beijing for the plans and for Swiss stage. Which interesting. We still have plans. We also have plans for MSI. I'm not sure why we still have that, but it is
Mm.
what it is. We'll discuss format later, and then because we did get the format for the event happening in March, first stand, and then for the group stage will happen in Shanghai, and then finals, quarterfinals, or semifinals and finals will happen in Chengdu, China. Chengdu was awesome. The theater, the arena that they had was like beautiful. I'm excited for them to go back there for finals. It should be really really cool. And then the 2026 MSI is happening in so first stand is happening in Brazil. MSI is happening in Korea and Worlds is happening here in North America. Very excited for that. Hopefully can build up like all the hype, this podcast, everything so that when Worlds is in North America, we can really do something really cool. And then 2027, first stand is going to
I
happen in
would like
Southeast Asia.
to.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry to cut off. I would love to do like an LTA report in person
Ooh, that would be cool. That would be cool. Like
because
Hotline League,
I
but
am.
LTA report.
Mm, yeah, like I don't know what you'd call like dollar store hotline league.
Dollar store Hotline League. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, we should definitely try to get that to work. I have some ideas. We'll talk later. And then for 2027, or 2026, they already announced. Or sorry, 2027 Worlds is going to be in Korea, MSI in Europe, first stand in Southeast Asia. A first. We haven't been there for an international event in forever. So, really
Hmm.
cool that we know. So I can plan, accordingly. I go to Brazil very often. I'm going there in a couple months. Actually, right after first stand ends, I'm going to be in Brazil. So it's really cool to have the idea that next year, instead of going, mid March, I can go there earlier and actually maybe attend. I can already start planning that stuff out, which historically I couldn't do that. So I'm excited for that. What do you think about like the locations and where like announcing things like 3 years early?
I specifically for the traveling fans, like this is a godsend. Like there's just so many fans complaining. Like how am I meant to prepare for like? So for me, for example, how can I prepare like 1 month before like an event's meant to start? Like, how am I meant to do all that? Because like, not only does like it's hard to prepare, like it's so much more money. Like doing it, I could now. I know it's like kind of you don't know specific locations for some. It's like Europe, for example. That's like pretty big. You can't like prepare, but like Korea, you kind of have a guess of where the main cities are going to be.
I mean, Korea's
So
this size. It doesn't matter if you. Yeah.
right, right. So like I can plan like literally a year to two in advance, like my travel and stuff there for like a third of the price.
Not just that, as a language learning nerd, I can be like, oh, okay, if we're having it in like some Asian country, Southeast Asia, if it's like a language that I've been meaning to learn, I could just start learning that language from now so that 2 years in, I can actually like, hold a conversation and communicate with people and whatnot. Like, I know that's not going to be for everybody, but I do think that's cool. Now, the reason I bring up like dates and whatnot is because we have the exact opposite happening in the LTA. So the LTA starts on the 25th. And Stacy, APA's mother, is actually like she has a TikTok channel account where she talks about credit cards and points and whatnot, and she has a Twitter account where she's very active on. And she tweeted out, I think yesterday, maybe the day before, "Hey, it's January 7th, so it must have been yesterday. It's the 7th of January, and I still don't know when my son's going to be playing. Like I know what days LCS is happening, but if I want to come fly over to watch my son playing, I don't know when that's happening." And so I responded to her. I was like, well, you're not going to know. And she was like, no, they must know. They just haven't released it. I'm like, no, actually, there's a draw show that's happening on this 18th. And the question is like, okay, we don't know who's going to be playing when, right? Because again, there has to be some sort of draw show, and you can guess. You're like, okay, you can just come for that weekend. Maybe they don't play Saturday, they end up playing Sunday. Not that big of a deal. But the idea is like, why is the draw show happening a week before the games are played? One, you're not giving teams enough time to prep for each other, right? Because teams are scrimming already. So if a team like FlyQuest and Team Liquid, they already know that they're going to be on opposite sides of the brackets because I think it's like 1 and 2 on the other opposite sides. But like they're going to be scrimming each other's. But Cloud9 doesn't know who's going to be on their side of the bracket. And so if you let them know early, maybe they can stop scrimming that one team and scrim someone else. And yeah, just things like that.
Like if lane swaps are still relevant for a team like C9, how are they going to prepare? Like they may have to completely shift towards, let's say, like TL, who are predominantly a lane swap team, right? So if they're still relevant and they don't know until like a week out, like that just like really skews like teams' practice. But I do think there always the reason for like there's no reason for the delay.
I don't know why we're waiting until the 18th. Like, okay, Asset Day. We're having interviews done on the 13th and the 14th. Can't you just record it on like the 15th, the day after? Or like maybe you're like, oh, it's too much happening in one day, but still, like I just feel like you have the capability of running a draw show at any point in time. My only guess is, hey, we wanted to wait until all the players are there, but even if that's the case, you don't need all the players for a draw show. You just need the head coach or maybe the team captain or whatever. Just one person do like a 30-minute segment and then move on. You don't even need them technically. You could do like what we do in Swiss stage, where you just have a ref go through balls, open it, and talk about it. So I'm not really sure why we're waiting until the 18th. That's something yeah, I don't have the answer to that. I understand why we may not know the matchup, like what day they're gonna play on. That part I understand, but why do we not know the matchup? Especially for myself, because I want to make content based on who Shopify is playing. If we're playing Cloud9, dude, I have a whole like I can't even prepare for that because like it costs money, right? If I want to buy a Cloud9 jersey and spray paint it if we beat them, I need to like purchase that jersey more than a week out before we play them. Otherwise, it's not going to get there in time. So now I'm gambling that we're going to play Cloud9, and if not, I don't even know what the return policy. Like it's a very uncomfortable situation to be in as a content creator. I know that that's not for everybody, but it would be better for the community, I think, if you just let us know at the beginning of January. Or if you didn't want it to happen at the same time, like I know you just got back from your break, release it Monday the 13th. Like even a week earlier, like matters. Ideally, you would have announced it Monday. So like the Monday that just passed when everybody came back on the 6th, I think. But like Why have we
Having
heard nothing?
SFA so early on, like prior to the draw show, like it's really confusing as well. Because like how are we meant to prepare like content around it? Like what is the point in previewing just the event when let's just say Cloud9 TL are in that group? That is a whole like narrative you can create.
Yeah, I mean this might be selfish, but like I said, I really want to make cool content about Shopify and who they're playing. And I can't do that because I just am I really going to spend a couple $100 just buying everybody's jerseys if that's something that I want to
Mm.
do? Like am I just going to go buy 3 out of 4 jerseys and be like and pray? Like what am I supposed to do, you know? It's just it doesn't make much
Right.
sense. Um so yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's a tough one.
I'm happy that Riot Global is letting us know where things are happening. I would love it if the draw show were to happen a little bit earlier. Because I understand in Split 3, we're not going to know until the end of the day, which is like a very different format. It's kind of like Swiss Stage, where you don't know that your
Outside of
next
the opening
matchup
game.
outside of the
The
outside of
opening
the
games,
opening game.
yeah. Yeah.
So I wish we had something a little bit more concrete. But it is what it is. Also, we know the cities for for finals this year for Worlds. Why don't we know the finals for LCS or LTA? Like we already know it's going to be in NA, right? I'm fairly certain it's going to be on the East Coast. So why don't you just tell us? But I mean, they're going to have to hold an announcement and whatnot. I understand, but still,
Hmm.
in the spirit of like, hey, we're going to give you ample time to come and prepare, especially for Brazilians who need to apply for a visa, which can take like 8 months.
Hmm.
Which means if finals is going to be happen like last year in September, they literally need to be applying right now to have a hope of making it, unless they have like a different passport. Because if you're a Brazilian passport, you can't get in without a visa, and you have to
Yeah.
apply way early on. So yeah, it's quite unfortunate.
It'll all die down once the LTA starts. Like that excitement will just like, very easily, for at least for me, take over. Like right now, I'm like a little annoyed because, like you said, like it's selfish reasons. I do want to create content around it. I do want to like ask specific questions, like and not receive the well. I don't know who I'm playing, so like I can't really say like that's all you'll get, right? So
That's it
like,
exactly. On you hit the nail on the head. I was doing my prep for who I'm going to interview on the 13th and the 14th, and I'm just like, okay, well, I can't ask about playing this team, so I have to hypothetically like, oh, how would it feel if you were to play this team, or like, what are your opinions on this one team? Like, you've been scrimming. I can't even say, oh, Shopify, you're playing Cloud9. Hey, Fudge, if I get a Fudge interview, I can't even be like, oh, you're playing Cloud9. What are the motivation? How are you feeling about that? Like, are you going in with a I don't even know if they're playing. So like,
mhm.
come on, man.
Because like, a lot of players like aren't good at hypotheticals either. Like that's the thing. Like unless they know for sure who they're playing, like they won't like take the time to give you this like hypothetical story.
Yeah. So that's the bad of like not announcing things. But in terms of the good, um, so they
Yeah,
did
but
announce.
we like, literally just said it in chat. Like the LTA is coming up, and we don't have anything to work with, and that's also like their content. What have they been doing to get me excited for the LTA?
Yeah, they haven't posted any like their. This is another thing. Normally they post like the season like teaser like a week before it happens. I understand the logistics behind it. They need all the players. They need to. I understand why it happens so late, but like, surely you can get Raz
Oh,
on a
the thing is,
camera
so
and
let me ask you: do you think the set's done? Do you think like set design, the whole thing's like ready to go?
oh yeah, it is.
Why aren't we? So I don't know how much you like watch professional wrestling WWE anymore. For their
Yeah.
WrestleMania, every single year they will have like one guy just talking, and then like the camera pans out to like the stage, and they'll have like all the music. Why can't we just have like a Captain Flowers talk about OTA, get us prepped, like a 1 minute video, and then like the camera like pans, there's like the new LTA music, you see the arena, even though it's empty, like you go through, and like why aren't we seeing that? Because I don't want to see the new arena like in a small glimpse during Champ Select on the first day.
No, I completely agree with you. And Woohee also says like he's excited because he's a diehard fan, and so are we. But that's not most fans. And if you want fans to be like, oh my god, LTA is back, maybe I'm gonna actually watch this year. Maybe like, oh yeah, Cloud9's in there. Let me watch them. You need to be
Mhm.
pumping out content. You need to be showing highlights of like, last year and then
Also,
posting it and
sorry
be
to
like,
cut you off. I'm calling up teams. They said they would be doing stuff for 2025. It is 8 days into 25. Where is your content? Like, where is it?
yeah.
Because I said, Cloud9 specifically, I said, is there going to be any more bootcamp videos? No, but we're going to be helping you build up 2025 and get ready for it. Where is it?
They don't know who they're playing. And they just got back this week. So like literally, at least for Shopify, we literally just got back into the office on Monday. So
But
if
you don't need every player. Like that's the thing. Like I think orgs
the
get like
cameraman
really tunnel
was off.
visioned. Fair enough, but also you can get players to do TikTok. If I can
I
make
agree with
like
you.
mediocre TikToks that can do okay, like just with like 5 minute editing, like you can do something with players.
I'm gonna message you something privately, and I'll talk to you about that later. Just because logistics make things a lot worse. Apparently, Blabber didn't get a happy birthday from the LTA. I thought he did. I saw Jan getting a happy birthday, but apparently Blabber didn't. Interesting.
He
So
got it
yeah.
from Cloud9.
Oh, he got it
I
from
need to go
Cloud9.
check because
Oh,
I'm about to go
okay.
switch.
Well, clearly, if you don't win a split, they don't count you as a real team. So they don't. They did give a happy birthday to B Voice. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure who he. Um,
When was Flabber's birthday?
I think 2 days ago. Wait, let me check. Oh, 4 days ago. Dang, time flies. Yeah, the 4th.
The 4th?
Yeah, his birthday was on the 4th. While you're looking for that, I do have like they did announce a bunch of other stuff, not just that. They announced the format for.
They did not. Like
They did
how?
not.
Okay, we're past the swear like time. How fucking dare you? Like one of your players who not that long before the start of, like last season, they were pitching like, is he going to overtake Bjergsen in double lift for like the greatest of all time? You can't even give him a happy birthday.
Oh, I
But
know
you're
why they
giving
didn't. They were off. All of Riot was off for 2 weeks. They straight up did not have anyone handling the account, if I'm not mistaken.
So you're telling me you
Yes.
can't schedule these things long. Like if you
Yes.
know, right, one of our big players has a
uh,
birthday when we're off, schedule the tweet.
Also, I'm sorry. Why are you tweeting? Like, look, if I was running the account, you know what I would do? I would do highlights of that player. I would do his
Or
like
you just
three
get
best
people to
plays.
record happy birthday messages.
Or yes, or literally just have like
Literally, just get people
Captain
put their
Flowers,
camera up,
Raz.
say
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I would do something meaningful. And like apparently they didn't even schedule out the bare minimum,
like
but
Yon is going to be a great player, but he doesn't light a candle towards like what Blab has accomplished for LCS and like C9. Like one of your like he was on. I know some players were on that stage as well. I don't know why they were there, but he was on one of the like legends parts of the the intro for summer
yeah,
finals.
yeah.
He was on that stage with the one of the jackets for like the legends like portion, but you can't even give him a happy birthday. I feel sometimes he's one of the most disrespected players in the league. Like he's not the most like personable compared to like other players, but like he is such a big player. Like I really hope he pops off this year because I'm gonna like pop off like going after everyone that's like thinks he's absolute garbage and needs to be gone from the league.
Oh, I love Blabber. I mean, I'm a Blabber fanboy. I will not hide it. I'm not a Cloud9 fan, but I'm most definitely a Blabber fanboy. Um Speaking of first stand, did you like the format? So just to recap what the format is, basically it's like you know how old MSI used to be? It's something similar to that. You have 5 teams, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you have the five major regions. 5 teams go. They play a round robin, best of 3. The top 4 teams go into a best of 5, kind of like old MSI, except instead of best of ones, double round robin. With 10 teams, it's a single round robin, best of 3. With these 5 teams, it's over 7 days. I think the 10th through the 16th. then you're playing quarterfinals, or going straight into semifinals and then finals. My understanding is not double elim; it's just like single elim, like what used to happen.
It's a single elim best of 5.
Yeah, so and it's full fearless. Now, I absolutely love the idea. I think starting out your season with a bang is always something I absolutely adore, which is why I like line CK. I'm not sure what it's called in English, but like they have the LCK did like they're having an event to start LCK where they got all the laners to play against each other. So top lane, they picked 5 top laners, and those they have to make their own team. And then all the mid laners had to make their own team, and then the junglers. And then last year the junglers won because like jungle's OP. But we'll see this year. Like you have Faker playing alongside Chovy. You have
Mhm.
you have Berserker playing
You have a team of like
alongside
Faker,
Ruler.
Showmaker, and Chovy in the same team.
I know, like that's so cool. You have Canyon Peanut playing on the same team. You get to see like new up and coming. You say I think Jiwoo was on a team as well. Like it's really cool that they have an event to kick off splits. And I think sort of kicking off the international split is a really cool best of 3 or fearless 5-team tournament the last 6 days or 7 days. I think that's a really cool idea. And while it's not going to be the most competitive, and I don't think they should give a trophy, I think they should give a medallion or a shield or something, not a trophy. I think trophies should be exclusively for MSI and Worlds.
I think it can be like, I think a smaller trophy is fine.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it
yeah, like a
doesn't need to
smaller
be.
trophy. Yeah,
It doesn't need to be.
a Summoner's
So
Cup.
like,
Yeah. Um, give it its
yeah, go
own
on.
thing. Give it like a first something specific to that. I would be completely okay with that, and just make it like a really fan first experience. And then you get into the rigorous part of the year, right? I love this. I don't know what your thoughts are, but yeah, I'm a huge fan.
I just don't like the idea of 5 teams. Um, like I have never been a fan of like these really condensed like tournaments because I feel you need more of them. So like in CS, they would have these like 6-team like LANs, right? And there was like a lot of them throughout the year. But when we're only getting like one of them, I don't really like the idea of it. I like the format though. Like I really
Mhm.
do like the format. I just wish there was like 6, 7, 8. Like just bump it up a little bit to make it feel like I understand what they're going for because they have the 5 regions now, right?
Mhm.
But I yeah, I was going to like I think it's just like I would have liked to have seen more. Like I where is it again this year? Right, it's in Korea,
So
right?
it's in Lal Park. So that's another thing. They're not doing
Yeah,
it at venues. They're doing it literally in their studio.
I would have liked to have seen like outside teams, not from like the regions. So if you somehow like gave an opportunity to, I think maybe like the NACL maybe a little hard, but like a couple of these bigger like ERL teams. I don't know like if there's any big teams outside the LCK or PL, but like try and get like a like a league of its own, but strictly competitive.
Wait. Uh, oh,
Hello.
okay. Sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry. I think maybe you cut out a little bit.
So like a league of its own, but like strictly like competitive.
Here's the thing. I don't like mixing competitive with fun. I think if you're gonna do a really cool format like this, which is like clearly, hey, this is not the most rigorous format, make it fun. And I can see why you would want more teams, but for me, I want it to be quick. I don't want to linger on very long, and it kind of just be a week. And again, we'll see how it works. Maybe I'll
Oh,
once we
but
see it, I'll
in
be like, oh, I wish there
CS,
were more
they have
teams.
like 30 teams, like compete in like a tournament that lasts like 4 days. So they'll have like everything go down like first 2 days, and then they'll have like maybe a 1 day break, and then it's like straight into the land like uh, bracket stage. So like it can be done. It's just I know Riot's very like finicky on second streams,
Yeah, and production, whatnot.
like because like CS they use like just a giant like hall, and then they'll have like all the booths. So then you could have like multiple games going on. But
Yeah, but I think for the players as well, it's just a better experience when you go and just have like everybody watching you. So I see where you're coming from. Like you could definitely do like 30 teams all start out, and then eventually you end up like with the 5 teams, and then you do something, or 4 teams and do something. Um, I'm just glad that they're doing something. Honestly, definitely the format could be improved, or maybe add team. I don't know about that. I do like how like one team goes first international event, 2 teams go on the second one, 3 teams go on the third. I kind of like that. I don't like that we only get one team for we get no guarantee. We get maximum of 2 teams and only one team for MSI, but that's we talked about that a lot.
Well, I think
On
that's just
other episodes.
the exception like NA fans have to have. So like in Valorant, like it's all condensed. So
Mhm.
like there is literally a possibility that 3 Brazilian teams go. It's like highly unlikely, but like you could have a South American like entire roster like representing you like for international, right? So like I think I'm at least grateful they're not doing it where there is a possibility you could even have none. But then I think it would suck as well for Brazil if like on the flip side, because I don't think that they would then get a representative at all.
Yeah, Brazil would definitely suffer. I'm excited for being able to play against Brazil. I just want Shopify to make it to top 4, man. Make it top 4. Go to Brazil. Have Seus play against Loud. Oh my god, that would it'd just be awesome. Um, I don't know that that'll happen. I hope that we're
Well,
good
that's the
enough.
thing. We don't even know the group. If we had the groups, then our whole podcast is sorted.
Dude, imagine this is our group: Team
Shall
Liquid,
we? Shall we?
Lion,
Like,
100
shall
Thieves,
we
and
do
Shopify.
this? Should we do this? Let's make like a fantasy like first like group
Make our
stage.
own groups.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
How would you like seed it to like?
Well, I think the way you seed it is just by average. Oh, you can't even use average placement because some players weren't playing. Like Abadage wasn't playing last year, and some of them were playing in different leagues. So Seus like would have very
I
different.
mean, like Lion would be like a very like weird one because
Well, I was thinking about the players,
technically you'd have
not
to
the
seed them
teams.
like.
I was thinking of the players themselves. But then you think about it, and it's like, okay, Audi finished first twice, but Audi was playing in LLA. Like, how does that count?
The
So,
only thing I can, I guess, is maybe they just use the right global rankings.
or you have a top 4, right? 100 Thieves, Cloud9, Team Liquid, C9, and then
You could have
a
a
second
mini
pool.
tournament to decide seeding. Like
You could have a
you could have
yeah,
the play-in for the play-in.
an ARAM, yeah, an ARAM 1v1. Your team chooses a representative.
Mm.
But yeah, I think what we could do is we could say, okay, Cloud9 and Team Liquid are on separate sides.
FlyQuest, you mean?
Yeah, sorry. Wait, what did I
I
say? Oh
wish
yeah,
it was Cloud9,
yeah.
but
FlyQuest, yeah, FlyQuest and Team Liquid are on opposite sides, and then you have to have Cloud9 and 100 Thieves on opposite sides, and then all the
well,
other.
100 Thieves would be the. Even if I'll save that. What I was going to say for another.
Yeah, and
100
then you have
Thieves
the 4
third.
teams just be randomly seated in 2 different groups.
Uh, it'd be Dignitas fifth because they like finished fifth in playoffs, right?
Well, the reason I was putting all the other 4 randomly, just because we have 3. We have Disguise and we have Lion, and Shopify has like a completely different team. Dignitas is a completely different team. So I just at least the other teams are like relatively the same.
But
Um,
this is where I think having just like a small group stage just for specifically those teams for seeding would be a good thing
I think they
because
just
like you
need
have
them to
no
tell
idea
us
how
their
you could seed
seating.
them.
Yeah, just tell
Mhm.
us. I don't actually care about an arbitrary seating. I legitimately don't care if the seating is like, hey, it was a random number generator. I don't care. Just give me something. At least tell me how the seating is happening. Because I don't think, yeah, just that's what I think they're going to do a pool system because they're having a draw show. So clearly they're not seating them that way. There is a draw show. They're going to like draw names. So my guess is you're going to have Team Liquid, FlyQuest, and then everybody else in a big bowl, and then you just randomly pick.
That's absurd. Like, could you imagine? Nah, they'd have to like No, there's no way they'd do
FlyQuest,
that though.
Cloud9, 100 Thieves, and Shopify.
Imagine, like,
Group
yes,
of Death, and then you
imagine that.
get Team
I would
Liquid
give
and
up
Lion Gaming, or like
the
Disguise going.
DSP. Oh my lord.
Yeah, no, they're
So
gonna do
you have
something
like
better.
you have the Skies going Brazil just because they lucked out on the draw.
No, no, no. They'll do something better. But yeah, we can't really talk about that like you said because we don't even know. Like if I have Cloud9, 100 Thieves, and FlyQuest in my group, I'm gonna be a lot less optimistic than if I have Lions, Disguised, and Team Liquid. Like then I'll be like, okay, we have a pretty good shot. You know. Um, Honestly, even if it's like, I would much okay for our chances of making it out. I would prefer to be in a group with 100 Thieves over Cloud9. Not saying just because I think Cloud9 looked much better in the one game that we saw them play in the show match.
Oh, I think they looked so much better in the show match than
Yeah, so
Thieves.
I would most definitely prefer as
Oh,
of
so
right
no,
now.
I thought you said they didn't look.
No. Cloud9 looked much better. And so like if I want to make it to Brazil, I'd rather not face
They absolutely
Cloud9.
stomped them.
Well, they didn't play against
Yeah.
100 Thieves. Like transitive properties don't work that way,
Well,
but yeah.
yeah, no, but I'm saying like they stomped the match.
Yeah, I mean they definitely did play pretty well. So yeah, I just again we keep coming back to like we can't even talk about the matchups, who's gonna make it out, who's like because here's the thing. The other thing is like let's say hypothetically speaking, you have Cloud9, FlyQuest, and like Lion Gaming in a group, right? And Cloud9 and FlyQuest make it out. Lions could have been the third best team or fourth best team and still not make it out because they're in a tough group.
Mm-hmm. That's happened to some Valorant like things
Yeah, so
where
like
you
even trying
literally
to
have like
power
such a
rank.
good team that didn't even this. So when they did franchising for the first time, like Valorant, right? They literally had the kickoff where C9 at that time had a super team. They played against PaperX, who was one of the best teams in the world, in round one. Like,
Ouch.
and that was at the time a single. No, they beat him, but like this was a single elimination where, yeah, they literally single elimination bracket to start off. Like they just started with a bracket, no like group stage or play in or anything. So like you literally had two of the best teams at the time just play each other, and then one went home.
Yeah, at least this is double elim for us. But like that's the point. If I'm power ranking in my head, I'm gonna say like these are the teams I think are best. But that doesn't mean that's gonna reflect the standings because the standings are gonna reflect the groups. So it's just a little strange that way. It's a little finicky. But I am excited for the draw show in 10 days. The other thing that they announced is the season. So Mel is coming out as a champion for
Mhm.
2025. And let me tell you, there have been a lot of really cool mechanics that we've seen. We've had like Callista Hop in the game. We didn't have it on a melee champion. We got Mbessa, who has it on a melee champion who's OP. We didn't used to have like certain mechanics like Frenzy, for example, with Briar. Briar, now everybody has Frenzy. Like there are specific mechanics that they tend to introduce into the game. Senna's Mist, Viego's ulti, like stealing up another champion. Like all of these are different mechanics that we never had before, and now we do. And now we're getting another mechanic that is just like it is breaking the game. Like you cannot tell me like Renata's bailout when it first came out was really OP. Tom Kench's Eat when it came out was really OP because it completely altered the game, and this is absolutely going to alter the game. Mel has we've only seen her W so far, but her W actively reflects your ability. It's not like Annie's E. So the way Annie's E works is, let's say I'm a Hui, and I use my Thunderbolt, whatever it's called, Severing Bolt, and I do damage to you. I take some damage back, right? Think of it like a Thornmail, a magic damage Thornmail. Mel's doesn't work that way. It legitimately just reverses the thing. So if I use my Jinx Zap W, right? What happens
Yeah, I was
is it
saying,
hits
imagine a
Mel.
Jinx Q reflecting back, and then because of the
Oh,
burst,
splash
just
damage?
gets like
Yeah.
the splash damage that like legit gets like a penta.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, so like if Jinx ults, right? Like let's say you're on Baron and Jinx ults and she's about to steal the Baron and you stand in front of it, you press W, it shoots, it'll bounce right back off of you and like just kill the enemy team, kill the enemy jungle. Like It is
So
insane.
I don't know how much. So I actually haven't watched
The
the
video.
announcement, like the part on Mel, because like I've been like doing like
It's
work
just
for
that one
the
ability.
dev
That's
update.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
did they? So what on the actual press release for it is it's so any targetable abilities go straight back to the enemy, like the enemy that fired it.
Like Vigor
But
ult,
any
for example. Yeah.
yes, but any non-targetable just fires in the direction of like the enemy.
Yeah. I mean, still, there's a good chance it hits, right?
There was like
Um.
an Annie Q will go straight back to Annie.
Yeah, because it's target. So you
Like
can't even use like think of like a wind wall, but instead of stopping it, it just pushes it back. So the things that wind wall couldn't stop, for example, Vel'Koz's ultimate, I'm pretty sure wind wall doesn't work on that. The Mel's reflect would not be able to reflect that. But something like which it would be very weird. So Briar's ultimate is a projectile, or like Ash Arrow, for example, it'll just like reflect it right back. Sejuani ultimate, it would just like reflect it right back. Those are things like if you're playing Sejuani and you just like go counter engage with Mel, like Sejuani becomes pretty useless because she can't flash ult you anymore because you just press W and then she gets ulted. Or even
yeah.
worse, you get a 5-man Sejuani ult with Mel. Oh my god, that would be crazy.
And the thing is, like a lot of champions now that like they're slowly winding down the point and click. So a lot of these are just like non-targetable projectiles. So that's why she's going to be such a problem.
Yeah, TF.
Like,
Like you try to stun Mel. Like again, if you're playing against Mel, you just don't use your ability on her, your ranged ability, like TF stun, Viger ultimate, that kind of stuff.
but it
But
makes Teal's useless because like even if you just use his Q, like that goes straight back,
I know.
and that fires at your whole team.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it can reflect. I'm pretty sure it can reflect auto attacks too. Just from the way it looked. Maybe it's only abilities, but
It's only abilities,
it's
as
only
far as I
abilities.
can
Oh, okay,
if I
okay.
recall. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that would be a little too OP. Just any projectile, like yeah.
Imagine like it returns Jin full shot.
Oh my god, dude, that would be so cool.
No,
But it could
like
return
Jin
his
Q
ult.
as well.
I want to reflect
I like
Malphite
that
ult.
movie.
You're crazy, man. Just play Silas.
Well, what
Dude,
about
that would be
Sion?
insane.
Does it just push Sion the other way? See when
Science?
Sion ults.
Well, you
Yeah,
can't wind
like
wall sign ult, so you probably can't reflect it. It's not a projectile.
well, it's any non-targetable, right?
It's a project. It has to be a projectile. It can't be anything. It
Hmm.
has to be a projectile. So like, if you're a Yasuo like throwing your tornado, it can probably reflect that. But if you're a Yasuo using your E, you probably couldn't reflect that. You know, because it's the dash.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's going to change the game. She's going to be my permaban for God knows how long until they nerf her because I can't see a
I'm curious
way.
on the cooldown of that ability.
I would guess starting level 1 maybe 22 seconds. Anywhere between 16 and 20 18 and 22 seconds, that would be my guess. If it's like a 40-second cooldown, maybe I won't ban her. But if it's like a 20 to 18 to
I
22
reckon it will
second, I don't
start
know.
low and high.
Wait, what do you mean
Like
start low?
so, like when she first comes out, it'll be low, and then
A low
the hot
cooldown?
patches. Yeah, I think the hot patches will they will hot
Oh,
patch
I
it
thought
like
you meant
Aurora.
level. As she
Right.
levels up, the cooldown increases. I'm like,
No,
what do
no,
you
no,
mean?
no. So like, I think it will start off
10
because
seconds? 8
they
seconds?
they want
No.
they want people playing the champ. Like,
Yeah. But
you
like
don't want
arcane is
another like
enough to make
Brielle
people
moment.
want. Yeah.
Like you don't want another Brielle where I hardly see that champion ever. I genuinely think I've played less than 10 games against that champ in my life.
Wait, which champion?
Brielle.
Briar?
Like even like Brielle, even when it came out, I never saw that champion.
Dude, Briar is so much fun. I'm on one trick these days. I only play Briar. But here's the thing:
Such a unique champ to one
Briar
trick.
did not have Arcane behind it. If Briar had like
Yeah,
Arcane behind it, Briar would be like maybe
and
we
that's
see
the
Briar in
problem.
Noxus. I see it on my Smurf a lot. Okay. Yeah. If you're when we go to Noxus, because the next year is going to be Noxus, right? And Briar, like for those who don't know the lore behind Briar, she's a blood golem. She's like a machine that was made by LeBlanc. And LeBlanc is like planning something big. And so maybe she uses her weapons, like Scion is a weapon that Briar created. Sorry, Scion is a weapon that LeBlanc created. Briar is a weapon that LeBlanc created. Maybe we do get to see them, and then maybe people start to play them and they get buffs and stuff. Like, I mean, that's just hopeful wishing.
I like how they did the cinematic. I think it's very clever because it was only the last few seconds that actually has like relevance towards like their future animated show. Like I felt like even though Mel was part of Arcane, right?
Uh huh.
That was her kind of moving into like the League of Legends mix because you saw all the um, Black Rose skin line, right?
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
right, and then at the end you saw because that was the only like talking they had throughout the entire and outside of the like the start, but that was the only like talking segment they had in that entire. So like I feel like the last few seconds, like with LeBlanc and Vladimir, they were setting up for that's their next TV show.
I think the whole
But
thing is part of it. Like, if I'm not mistaken, this is
we'll
all canon.
see.
What's happening is canon. Because, like, okay, Swain hired Katarina to kill Elise, right? Like that's canon, and we have an animation for that now too. And then like Mel's vision of like what happens. I'm not entirely sure where she was, but like she had a vision of like fighting and stuff happening.
Hmm.
That my guess is that's canon too. Now I don't know if
I
that's
thought
going
it
to be
was
in the
more
show.
like embedding Mel now into like I thought like the first half League of Legends, the last bit was they're setting up the new TV show. Maybe I'm completely wrong,
I think
but
it's both. I think it's like they're trying to connect League of Legends with its lore, and part of League of Legends lore is bringing in.
I saw a lot of
Um,
complaints about that by the way. Like on Reddit, there was a lot of complaints about they feel that all the cinematics will now just be tying into
they
like their
always
cash
were.
cow.
You just didn't know about it. They always were part of the lore. You just didn't know. Like every single thing is part of the lore. Like it
I'm not
always
even
has
not.
been.
I'm not. I mean, like the cash cow. I was in like creating the next television series.
Let them. We get Fortiche working on it. Like it was cool. Like I'm not
Now,
complaining. It was
I thought it was sick.
yeah.
The only problem I had with it is I never. It was one of those ones I never listened to the music at all during that whole thing because I was so deeply invested in the animation.
Oh
So like, I had to go back and listen to just the music because I was so invested in like the animation.
yeah. I saw. So the part where Trundle and so where Darius decides like, you know what, I'm going to take the true ice and hold my axe because I'm gonna die otherwise, and basically sacrifice my arm. Because if you don't know, like fairly old lore, Lysandra gave Trundle his club. It's made of true ice. It freezes everything. Like he's gonna lose his arm, and he breaks the axe. If you didn't know, I saw this, but you can actually see the axe that Darius uses to smash in Trundle's head is on the map. If you go to the alcove on the top side, it's literally
Yeah,
there.
it's there, it's
It's
there, it's there.
there.
Yeah,
And I didn't know what that was. Like I had noticed it in the PBE. I didn't know what that was. Now we know. Like they are tying in the visuals of the game. They're tying in everything. It's
people
really, really
complain way
cool.
too much. Like they were saying, "Oh, is this like a young Darius?" I'm like, "No, they just made him look better on TV."
Yeah, just
Like
yeah, they
they're
just
just
complain all they want.
like, but that's the thing because like the skins never look anything like what you see on like the animation, right? Like
Yeah.
the actual splash outs for these look insane.
I know.
Looked at the actual in-game ones, they look meh.
Yeah. Runeterra is criminally underexplored, and apparently they're not sticking to Runeterra. Apparently they want to go to like the B world where everybody's a B. No, I'm just kidding. That was just part of their joke. Like we could straight up get a Star Guardian like animation. Like they might go to these different universes, which I think is kind of cool. But I do like Noxus. I think a lot of cool stuff happens in Noxus. I'm just hoping Briar shows up. I really just hope Briar shows up because Briar is really cool. I find her to be very cool. As soon as I saw her, I knew I was gonna main her. I did. Even before I knew what her like kit was. I love the aesthetic of Briar. People were very weird about her, which disturbed me, but we move on. Um yeah, I thought overall the announcement was relatively good. Am I forgetting stuff? I think they talked about the one thing I was hoping, and we talked about this before, but I was just really, really hoping that we get a new beginner friendly mode. I played a bunch of games. Like any game you start, they're gonna give you like not just a tutorial, but they're gonna, especially when it's multiplayer, you're gonna have like a beginner area, a safe zone where everybody under level 30 is like there. Same thing when I was playing Dungeons and Dragons. I was playing like a video game based off of it. I did not have access to all the champions or all the heroes. I didn't have access to all the items. I didn't have access to all the different dungeons. I had specific like I could not. I had to unlock it, and I would love for
Mm.
League of Legends to maybe move away from purchasing champions and just have them unlock based on like you can still buy them, but for the most part, you need to unlock that progression. Maybe start off only playing ARAMs. And then once you get more comfortable with ARAMs, then you start like with the 10 champions that are allowed in ARAM, and it's only 10. And then you get like more items. For example, maybe there's only like 3 items per champion. Like just give us a beginner friendly mode so that I can play with my friends. I can play with like people who haven't played,
And
and
I
I
think,
can bring people to the game.
and like with the recommended builds, like you're literally doing that anyways, because like you're already streamlining them into a specific build, even if like it's not the most optimal, right? Like you're streamlining people into these builds anyways.
Yeah, but
So like I
I
agree
need a
with your idea
beginner.
that
Yeah.
yeah, like I agree with the thing like they can integrate like make it more streamlined because quick play is an absolute mess. I've seen more tweets about like quick play than when it was released. Like today, even like that Zell one where he had like 2 supports and no jungle.
Oh yeah, was that Mithy?
I
No, no,
can't
no.
remember.
I don't remember, but yeah. By the way, so for in quick play, there's this thing called priority positions, and Riot just doesn't explain what they are. And so I made a video on my channel how to explain it. It has over 120. It was a Zale. Oh, it has almost 125,000 views. There are
Hmm.
over 100,000 people who could not figure it out and had to go on to like look it up. Like why it's just honestly the reason I made the video was because on Reddit during the off season people were asking about it, and I was making some guides for beginners because I really care about the beginner experience. Like when I played Dungeons and Dragon, I was so happy with the beginner experience that I was like, I want to make something like that for League. And then like I wasn't able to continue, and I want to like every year just like visit a few things, but there just weren't any
I want it where
guides.
you don't have to Google because like I played Path of Exile for the first time and their like passive skill tree
Hmm.
is absolute
Oh
gigantic. I
yeah,
don't know if
it
you
is.
played any of these dungeon ones. It's like it fills your entire screen of like
Yeah,
skills you have to look. And I don't like the idea of having to just Google my way through it. I want to be able to like be shown properly
yeah, but
because
if
like
you're
that's what I feel like my guy. So like I don't normally play these games. I play like Diablo is my main game,
okay.
but like I don't want to have to feel okay. My character's completely weak because the game hasn't shown me properly how to like figure out like yeah.
Yeah, but
Anyways,
for games like Path of Exile or like even I play a bunch of Elder Scrolls like online. You just have so many different regions and areas, and like maybe the specific best build for a DPS mage is like this one specific build that you can get from this one dungeon, and like this specific rune tree of how you want to do a skill
you know what'd
set.
be cool?
Like I
Having
like
like an entire like picture of like the actual Runeterra map. Have
we
all
have
the
that.
different regions. So have like do we? The for like I mean specifically for like you said like beginners
Oh, in the
where
game,
you
no, we
click
don't
on
have that. Yeah.
like you click on an area like let's just say Noxus and then you have to choose one of the Noxian champions and if you win you unlock that champion and just
Mm,
like start just so you can start getting people to understand
I
like
like
where the
that.
different types of champions come from.
So if you go to the League of Legends like lore website, there's like an actual interactive map that you can go. You can zoom in. You can look at like all the different places in Noxus and Piltover's on. It's really cool. The only problem is it only covers like the main continents. It doesn't cover Kamavor, which a lot of champions like Viego, like Callista, Hecarim, all these champions are from. That we just have a picture of Kamavor, but we don't actually have it on the map. So they'd have to integrate that into the map because then everybody would be from somewhere, I guess. But I really, really like. I will keep talking about a new player experience to League of Legends because I am someone who has brought a lot of people. Like I have friends who have played League games with me and do not play unless I'm playing because it's just not a good
Mhm.
experience for them. They don't understand what's happening. And we will play ARAMs. I will give them one champion. Like well, not one champion, but like I'll tell them which champion to pick, which is like the easiest for them to understand, and I'll help them through it, and they'll have fun. but otherwise they just don't.
Yeah.
But that's sort of like how you get the future LTA pros. That's like to bring it to the LTA report, right? We're talking about the LTA. We're not going to have more players if we don't have players. We're not going to have more pro players if there are no players. So I do think the new game mode needs to exist for beginners, and I don't know. The
New
rumor
stuff for
was that it
fans.
was in works. The rumor was that they had something functional, and then it's I don't know what they're doing with it.
Probably probably the mobile game, World Rift. No, them. Because that is a streamlined version.
Yeah,
Like that is
MMO
exactly what.
can't come soon enough, man. I want to play that game so badly, but that's
Do
neither
we
here nor
want to
there.
talk about our plan that we kind of discussed before Christmas, or are we not there to like share it?
I mean, we can share, but are we gonna go through with it?
I want to, like, even if it doesn't happen like till later in the season, like I still want to like do it.
The MMOs years out, yeah. I mean, sure, we can talk about it. You wanna take a lead on it?
Uh it's more like your idea, I think. So I think I'll let you start and then I'll like
Wait, are we
contribute.
talking about the same thing? Are you talking about the like fan tournament?
Yeah.
Oh, that was 100% your idea, but okay. I'm not letting you give me
You
credit
made
for
it
that.
better. You made it better
I added like
because
two
I
things. Come on.
you simplified it because I had like some full on like
Okay, yeah, yours was a little
gigantic.
complex. I agree.
Yeah.
But we can get there one day. Basically, what we want to do is since North American teams do not give us content in the off season, um, whether they're incapable or for whatever reason, we're like, okay, well, if the teams can't get the players because they're overseas, they're traveling, visiting family, yada yada, to do something, why don't we just do it ourselves? And instead of having professional players, we're going to have professional fans, So like I'm a Shopify fan, I can find 4 other Shopify fans. We represent Shopify
Can
and
you?
we enter a tournament. What?
Guess it can you?
I mean, hypothetically.
I'm
Yeah.
starting the war early. I'm starting the war early.
We could go up against
You'll
Team
come up and it's
Cloud9.
just Cloud Sidkey 1, Cloud Sidkey 2. It's just
We
like
go up
4 viewer
against
accounts.
Woohee, we go against Marn, we go against Healy, we go against like these Cloud9 fans. We can have like a whole bracket where we have Cloud9 fans playing against Team Liquid fans. I have like, we might even add XTSM fans because they're so desperate for something like that. And just have, if the teams aren't going to do something, at least the fans want something. Let's make it. Let's make it happen.
Mhm.
Ideally, we wanted to do that before LTA starts, but then Christmas happened. I got really sick. I didn't forget about it. I legitimately could not do anything for like a
Sometimes life
week.
gets in the way. Like it's impossible to like have it like be perfect.
Yeah, so it's something that we do want to definitely try and make it. We'll have a broadcast. We'll have casters. We'll have like funny like jokes. We'll have some segments prepared and everything. That's the idea. Initially, we're probably going to like stick with like 2 to 3 teams, maybe like one simple bracket, maybe. I don't know that we can find 5 Lion Gaming's fans who will all be available at the same time with 5 FlyQuest and Team Liquid. Like, my guess is just do the top 4 teams from last split 100 Thieves, Cloud9, FlyQuest, Team Liquid. Fairly certain I know 5 fans from each team. And if not,
Mhm.
I know someone who could get 5 people to be available at a specific day. We get those 5, you have a bracket, upper bracket, lower bracket, a total of like 6 to maybe 6-5 games. We'll simplify it as much as we need to, especially for the first time. Get like Magical or some other caster to cast it, and then we can move on from there. I think it's a really good pilot idea. It is something we want to try. We're probably going to make a Google form soon once we figure out like exactly what dates we want this to happen and how we want it to look like. But we're very excited to just get the fan teams to play against each other when teams aren't available to play against each other in the off season. The way it's going to look like, again, we're not entirely sure, but it's something we're excited about. We've talked to other people about it. We've talked to one person about it. Woohee here is already in. Um, I think it's going to be really cool. And we don't have a lot of fans engaging. Ideally, what would we do? Like when he was talking about how like I made it simpler. Ideally, you'd have like these team captains of like oh, Mrs. Chim Chim is the Team Liquid leader, and it's like Miss Chim Chim and the Team Liquid team versus Basil Leaf and the FlyQuest team, and like you could do a lot of really
Mm.
cool things, but we don't have that right now. We're just like starting it off. So well, hopefully
That's
it
like my
goes.
goal to have like C9 Amelia for the C9 team. Probably Dave for the 100 Thieves, just because I don't really know any other like 100 Thieves like.
I mean,
streamer.
Mo, if
Well,
historically, yeah. The Yasuo, yeah.
maybe, but I think I'd prefer
Valkyrie, I
David.
think.
Mate, we would need a hefty
Oh,
wallet for that one.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, there people exist. They just not within reach as of right now. Yeah.
Mm. And David for the trash talk, because us three definitely going to be a lot of talking this year. Um, but yeah, it's mainly just for like providing fans with something that their orgs don't give them often. I know C9 has occasionally done like you can play an ARAM with like one player. I don't know if they're actually actively going with the Club 9 reward where you can actually redeem to play an ARAM with like a player, like a pro player of your choice. But like, and we just want to see who has the best fandom in League,
Yeah, in
like
terms of
on and
skill,
off the road.
yeah.
Yeah,
We will find out if that returns tomorrow. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we find out tomorrow.
true. Because there's the Club 9 like resets tomorrow.
Oh, I see. So yeah, that's just an
Yeah,
idea that we have, and we're really excited to make it work. Just stay tuned for more information. We're gonna start a Twitter
we're
account
gonna
so that you can follow us and like get announcements.
we'll make an official post like in due
Yeah, we'll
course.
make an official post. I'm down. Think it'd be a lot of fun. I think so too. Like, it'd be bragging rights too. Like, hey, we're the better fans. You know, like I think
Hmm.
it'd be cool. So yeah, there's that. Is there anything else specifically that we have to talk about?
Uh, I think we've covered everything. I think next week's is going to be absolutely jam packed with like things to talk about.
Really? Oh yeah, because
Is it
I'll have
next
done
week?
a couple interviews. Oh, I will. Yeah, I'll have a lot to talk about for
We
sure.
interviews will be done. I guess if you want to, we can do. If you're available Sunday, I guess we could try and do like an immediate reaction to, or even Saturday post reaction to the things if you are available.
The draw? Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, or even a live. Not obviously we can't put it on the stream, but a live reaction to like the draw itself could be cool.
Can we not
If
post
you
stream that? It's not technically part of the stream. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to.
we can ask,
But we could ask. Yeah, we could ask if we could. Yeah, we'll
have
figure
out one.
something out. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
Do we even know what time the show is? They just said it's on the 18th, but they did not say when.
Have a look quick.
Yeah, because like it could be in the middle of the night for you. You know,
Yeah.
they probably always announce things at 9 a.m. PST, noon EST, so it'll probably be around then. Um, but if it's like gonna be a live show, then it'll probably be a little bit later because pro players don't wake up that early, so they're going to sleep at 9 a.m.
I'm committed to staying up for to watch it though.
All right, yeah, that could be something fun that we do. Um,
I think that's everything we've spoken about. Like, we need to talk about anyways.
yeah, do you have any shout outs for what you want to do with your channel, with like future updates or anything?
Keep an eye out on my Twitter in like the next hour. I'll probably be getting over like a lot of things. Um, making a lot of like brand adjustments. Going to be adding a lot of social accounts. Instagram's one I definitely will be like paying more attention to this year.
Ooh, can I cut you
Yeah,
off
good. You
there?
gone?
Because Instagram has absolutely been killing for me. I just started Instagram, wasn't serious about it because, like, well, obviously TikTok's going to go away at some point, and I've already gotten 103 followers. My very first post to ever hit over 1 million views. Like, it has been absolutely killing. I have less than 50 like posts. I have 31 posts. The past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 posts have all been in the thousands. Like 269,000, 748,000, 2,000, 5,000, 1.5 million, 4.5 thousand, 74,000, 1.5 thousand, 1.9 thousand. The one I just posted today already has over like almost 2,000 views. Instagram has just been killing it. I don't know why, but if you're not on Instagram, yeah, Instagram is where it's at. Like, I will post something on TikTok, I'll get 300 views, 300 to 600. I'll post the same thing, I'll get 3,000 to 6,000 on Instagram. It's great. I'm having a
That's
lot of fun with
insane.
it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, honestly. Because when I first started, I was around the 300 mark. You know, when I first started, I think maybe like I only posted like my first ones were like 30, 382, 20, 600, 200, 87, and then all of a sudden 2,000. And then I posted something and it hit almost 300,000, and then 700,000, and then a million, and obviously not all of them are going to be like that, but as long as I'm in the thousands, like I'm really happy. That's like YouTube numbers, and I'm not even like on YouTube.
Yeah. That's my goal next year is to do all this shit. I keep saying next year. I'm so like, I hate.
I know.
Like,
8 days behind, my friend.
It's literally just to be consistent on like every platform, tweet more, active on Reddit, because League mods are an interesting group of people, so I have to be more active on there.
To say the least, yeah.
Oh, I literally just got unbanned yesterday.
Oh, nice. Okay. I don't know why you got banned, but congrats.
Apparently I wasn't following the self-promotion rule, even though I was.
Why do you get banned? You just take your thing down. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what I did. And then like you still post comments in, and they just ban me. I woke up the next day, I was banned. They're saying, "Oh, you like you violated the self-promotion rule," even though I was within that. They've changed to 4 and 25. It used to be 1 per 25 comments, like 1 post per 25, but now it's like 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do agree with that, Wuhi. I will say I had I came out with a video, and I was like, I will be the first person to post it. This video will get hundreds of thousands of views if I post it on Reddit right now, because it's just happened. They took it down. I messaged them, why did you take it down? Nothing. No response, nothing. No one else posted it. And it eventually got like 100,000 views on YouTube. But I'm like, Riot Games just announced, it was like when Riot Games announced where China was going to happen firsthand. I put out a video of Riot Games announcing firsthand. They took it down because it doesn't follow the rules and regulations somehow. And they just like, I don't know. Also, I had a really heartbreaking interview with Broken Blade after they got eliminated. It just got taken down, and then someone else posted it, and they let theirs on, but not mine. It's frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, that's happened to me quite a few
And then
times.
the troll posts stay up. I know, and I'm done with League manifestos. Yeah, that it is what it is. But yeah, do you have any other shout outs? Sorry, I know I cut you off for the Instagram point.
No, I think I'm for everything I want to speak about.
All right, for the LTA report, we're actually starting our own Twitter, so I'm gonna have that in the comments or in the description once that's up, so that we can have all of the information there, specific things about what we want to do with the channel, or what we want to do with the podcast when we're starting, if we're changing the times or anything like that, and like the sign up sheet and like information on like the fan tournament is also going to be on there. And then we're also going to start specific social medias. It still be like podcast will still happen on the show, but we'll have probably like an Instagram, a Twitter, a TikTok if it doesn't get banned, things like that, just for the channel. Just so like it's living somewhere, and like someone who wants to see the podcast doesn't have to rummage through the thousands of things that I post a day, because I do post a lot. And then on my end, I got interviews. Still haven't been approved for anyone, but I'm excited. I'm going to do an interview in Portuguese with Seus. If Riot gives me Seus, I'm doing it in Portuguese with Seus. If Riot does not give me Seus, I'm barging into the Shopify quarters and doing it with him. I don't care. I'm going to get we have a Brazilian player. He deserves to have like some sort of interview, something come out. So I'm really excited to do that for like the Brazilian fans and whatnot, and just for myself too.
Account that says days since Cloud interviewed Seus in Portuguese. Or
that's funny.
Did Cloud interview Seus today?
Yeah.
And
so
tweet every day saying no.
So that's the hope, that on the 13th I get to interview him. If not, I will contact Shopify, and they've been very accommodating with me whenever I need anything from them. They'll probably set me up with something. That'll be really cool. I'm excited. I've never done an interview in Portuguese before. Like, I can barely interview in English. My God. Yeah, my Portuguese isn't that great, so a lot of prep will go. I will try to also do an interview in Korean, because those are the 2 languages that I said this year I'm going to like fully master, or at least in the interview sense. So I don't know who I'm interviewing. Once I get like my interviews, I guess, confirmed, I will prep for that person in Korean, and hopefully it'll go well. So that I'm excited for like taking the next step there, because when MSI comes around, I want to be able to do things in like multiple languages, so I don't have to like waste a bunch of time waiting for translator to translate back and forth, and then I don't want to waste time. Like I will get people, the translator, they have a limited number of translators, like 2 or 3. If I don't need a translator, I go up in the queue. So those are some some of my thoughts on what I want to do. Any other shout outs for me? Not really. Just look forward to the interviews on the 13th. Those are going to be really cool. I think I'm going to do a really good job with the interviews. So that's it for me. All right. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next week, Wednesday, and we'll let you know by then if we're going to like live view or we're going to like watch afterwards or react to the draw. But yeah, so next week we'll probably have 2 episodes. Should be exciting.